Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Maruti Suzuki Victoris, which is basically the Grand Vitara but from arena showrooms, and that's the reason why this car is already a huge success. V for Victoris, which is sort of victory because this is already selling 10,000 units a month. The walk is long today because I have a lot to discuss because this is not your regular Victoris. This is the Victoris CNG, which is available in LXI, VXI, ZXI and ZXI dual tone variants, and this is actually the ZXI dual tone, which is priced at rupees 17 lakhs on road Mumbai. This is the key of the vehicle, has the Suzuki logo here. Unlock the car, lock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. The thing is that this car is priced quite competitively. Oh no, I just dropped the key. Nothing's gonna happen, hopefully. Anyways, yeah, the car is priced very competitively, and straight away, let's open the engine bay. This car is not having a smart hybrid, so not so smart hybrid because there's no hybrid in this car. This is the engine, which is the biggest issue with this car. There's insulation there. And what does it say? Okay, some coding. And washer fluid goes in here. The engine bay is like completely empty. They can definitely put in a turbo, but Maruti is like, nahi, tumhe performance kyun chahiye? Coming to the design of the car, sort of e-Vitara inspired. This is the radar, which is not there in the car only because this is obviously the lower variant and the Suzuki logo there. This is actually chrome. It doesn't have connected lights as such. Eyelashes for the DRL. That is the projector setup, both for low beam and high beam. LED fog lamps, sort of project. Oh, they are projectors, I believe. And obviously, they've used a lot of black to reduce the visual bulk. These air curtains are very much functional as well. The indicator is functioning at the moment where the LED DRL is. So the thing is, it does not get ADAS, so there's no sensor there. There's no rain sensor either. There's a CNG sticker there because that's sort of mandatory. With CNG, a lot of things actually become mandatory. Coming to the side of the car, well, it is almost 4.4 meters long, 4360 mm to be precise. The wheelbase is 2.6 meters, but the design is a bit weird here. You know why? Because I think this was conceptualized as a 7-seater version of the Grand Vitara, but then arena dealers are like, हाँ मैं भी दे दो यार कोई SUV बेचने के लिए. Even though this is jacked up hatchback, but it comes with all-wheel drive, not with CNG though. Coming to the design of the wheels, well, I don't like them. These are finished in black. High variant obviously gets diamond cut, so some silver inserts and all that, which obviously looks better. 215 60 17 is the size of the tires, but still it looks very under-tired somehow. And they have actually not really insulated this, so you can see a lot of exposed stuff. This wheel arch is squared. Take that Jeep. Yeah, copied from Jeep, obviously. And car looks very under-tired somehow. I don't know why. This is dual tone, so you get piano black finishing on the mirror as well as the roof, and these roof rails don't seem to be functional. And there's a request sensor here. Maruti does a good thing by offering a request sensor on the other side as well, which means you just press the button and you unlock the car. Hyundai Kia do not offer that, so that's a good thing, Maruti. Thank you so much. You get rear discs, obviously, but the problem with this car is the team which designed the front did not design the rear, so the rear design is not in sync with the front one. I don't like the design at the rear. It just doesn't look good. Says Victoris here. You obviously get a camera there, rear wiper washer, CNG badging, high mounted stop lamp, shark fin antenna, and the indicator is really small. You can't see it, only it's not visible in the day at all. Reverse light has been placed here. 4 parking sensors, not to take that Tata Motors. And the best thing about this car is, firstly, the exhaust has been placed here. But the best thing is that the CNG tank is placed right below, which means it does not eat into the boot. The good thing about the boot is it has got gesture control. You come behind and dance, it will open, obviously with a key in the pocket. Yeah, it's a powered tailgate. Boot carrying capacity around 446 liters, which is decent size. Some storage space here, a hook, and you get a 12-volt charging socket. You also get a light here, and the fire extinguisher should not be placed here. I don't know why it's placed here at the moment. And below here you got some storage space, but there's no spare wheel. This car does not come with a spare wheel at all. No variant comes with a spare wheel. You have to pay extra to get the spare wheel, but you can't place the spare wheel here because the CNG tank actually takes space. Toolkit. This is obviously the jack. I don't know where Rose is. This is the warning triangle, a brochure, and yeah, that's about it. Well, the good thing is you can slot it like this and use it. Meanwhile, you can also put the seats down in 60/40 format, and I mean, you get the car with a parcel shelf as well. Power tailgate, press a button and there it shuts. Come quickly, bro. I need to go to Panvel. What are you doing? It gives you a warning that how you need to be careful while operating the tailgate. I don't like the design of the rear tail lights. They are just not in sync with the front lights. Anyways, you only get one flap here. This is for fuel. This is for CNG, so that's again nice. E20 petrol only. What will happen when it will become E27? Maruti, take your cars back that time. Or tell Gadkari to stop adulterating our fuel. Let's open the door and get inside. The usual Maruti build quality of light doors. Big enough, yeah, big enough. But we'll come to that in a bit because this thing protrudes all the way behind, which means the center passenger, although he gets a head rest, he doesn't really have space for his legs. That's the reason the center passenger is Dhoni on a bottle right now, belted up nicely because you get a proper seat belt. And now I'm just going to show you the door pockets are actually quite practical because 1 liter bottles can fit in here. Nice treatment right there, but no marking on the power windows because obviously it's not illuminated. Sun blind here would be a nice addition in this particular variant. A lot of things are actually missing, which I'll talk about in a bit. Now, because this is actually powered by CNG, it does not get the battery here. The mild hybrid 12-volt battery is not placed here. Instead, it has got the provision for the fire extinguisher, which means foot room will get compromised here as well, because obviously you're going to hit the fire extinguisher, otherwise you hit the battery. This is not really scooped out, but you get a magazine holder here, height adjustable seat belts, 6 airbags, standard across all variants, light placement here on the top, kind of premium, but the light color is halogen obviously, and this is beautifully damped as well. Rear AC vents, 2 USB-C charging sockets, some storage space here. This has a slight hump right there, but yeah, it's kind of nice here. You get Isofix child seat mounts, but the seat is a bit too upright. It could have been more reclined. Fabric seats, which is not like leatherette, which is there in the top variant. However, this is better for our climate because these cool down much faster in comparison. Headroom continues to be super poor in spite of the fact there is no sunroof here. For the sunroof variant, when compared to the ZXi, it comes in the option one, rupees 60,000 extra, but the CNG does not get that option only. And knee room is also fine, legroom and all. I mean, it's okay, but under thigh support is obviously poor here. The dashboard design is nice. I like the steering wheel here. It's quite cool. And the armrest actually slides ahead and behind. Nice treatment here as well. So in terms of the rear seat experience, well, the headroom is poor for tall passengers and under thigh support is always poor, and then you obviously tend to hit the fire extinguisher if it is kept there, or the battery if it is having mild hybrid. Let's go Dhoni, we can't sit here for long. Anyways, let me shut this and straight away we shall get into the driver's seat. Before that, let me show you that this is some Mercedes inspired with a lot of Mercedes logos. What is happening? Why is everybody so obsessed with Mercedes?
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Right from Tata Motors to now these guys as well, which actually reminds me, this car has 4 speakers. So there are no speakers here. Yeah, this is empty. It's a provision. So this car is having 4 speakers, 2 speakers on the front doors and 2 tweeters on the A-pillar, not on the A-pillar, on the door actually. Meanwhile, the top variant is actually having 8 speakers. So that obviously is, I think, an infinity sound system, which is not good at all, in spite of the fact that there are 4 speakers, 1 on each door. There are 2 tweeters, there's a speaker on the top there, and there's a subwoofer in the boot. Still, audio quality is not good. Here, I'm simply going to place the bottle. So big door pockets, actually warning, which is mandatory with the CNG. And here it tells you how to actually operate the CNG system. Proper dead pedal there. This is to open the hood, this is to open the fuel flap. What is this dummy panel? You guys tell me. Lot of buttons missing here because it does not get level 2 ADAS. So no button to turn off forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist. So this is completely empty. Headlight leveler. What is this? Why is there a dummy panel here? No heads up display here. So the buttons for the heads up display are given right there. Engine start button. It's standard across all variants. So now they have got rid of the fact that you have to put the key to turn on the car. Even if you opt for the base LXi variant, that's not there. Fantastic. So a lot of stuff is actually standard across all variants, like this rear AC vent, 6 airbags. Good job, Maruti. However, this being the ZXi, not the ZXi Plus, does not get powered seats, does not get ventilated seats, does not get a heads-up display. Lot of kit is missing here. No electric parking brake. It does not even get, EPB is missing, obviously, so you get a manual handbrake. Seat ventilation buttons are here, EPB buttons, all of them are here. Instead, you get 2 cup holders, place to keep the key, and a manual handbrake in this car. I like the steering, it's nice, but the biggest issue here is that since it's not available in the top variant, it misses out on the bigger 10.1 inch screen. This is auto dimming. There's a sunglass holder here. There's actually a mirror here, which is fantastic. Tata does not offer the same in its expensive cars like the Harrier or Safari. Yeah, mirror on both the sides. That's fantastic. Feels a bit cheap. Seats are decent. Yeah, look at the foam. The glove box is decent size, but the first aid kit is always cheap in all the cars. And there's no cooling function, and this obviously feels flimsy. This will get dirty very fast. Ambient lighting is missing. It comes here in the top variant. And well, let me shut the door because I'm so upset with the same cheap switchgear which I've been seeing since the Swift was launched 20 years back, and no illumination other than the driver's side. The driver's side gets a 1 touch down. Does it get a 1 touch up? It does. And does it get anti-pitch? Yes, it does get anti-pitch. Stupid to actually test my hand on it, but anyways, whatever. Now let's turn off the lights so things become a bit brighter here. There's a wireless charging pad here. There's a 12 volt charging socket with a USB-A. Alright, the higher variant actually gets two USB-C charging sockets here. So that's something which is better. Still stuck on 5-speed gearbox. There should be some silver marking or coloring on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 no, and reverse, but that's not the case here. So cost cutting of another kind. Some storage space here. Yeah, nice to slide it. Some storage space here as well. Physical AC controls, physical volume control and power button as well, which is actually fantastic. Hazard light button has been given right here. And the dashboard looks quite nice. I love the steering wheel actually. This is for cruise control. These are the buttons to operate voice commands, audio system, and go through that screen. This is both adjustable for reach as well as rake, which is nice. Automatic headlights. No automatic wipers have been given here. And this is a 10.25-inch cluster, which has a very small tachometer. I don't know why the tachometer is like so damn freaking small. And then I can obviously change a lot of things. So on the left side, I can change stuff. It's telling me to turn on the vehicle. In fact, I can get into the vehicle settings and change, okay, there has a tire pressure monitor, guide me light and all that. So you can change the cluster design also in customize screen. So you can decide if you want the classic layout or you want the standard one. And I think I like the classic one only because this kind of looks weird. So we're just going to come into the classic one. And then you can decide if you want a tacho on or off. People would love a tachometer. Let me actually turn off the car and let me open the door. And let's turn on the car. Okay, it has this sort of animation when you turn on the car. See, it makes this sound. This screen, will you wake up? Suzuki logo will come now in like 3-4 seconds. It's very slow. It's one of the worst screens I've operated because in the day I can't see anything on the screen. It's that dim. You get a 7-inch screen here for 17 lakhs. 7-inch screen, very small. Obviously 10.1-inch screen in the ZXi Plus, which is obviously better. What did you say? What did it say?
What did you just say to me?
Creta is better is what it said because that's something I have programmed in this system right now in the welcome message. So here we go. Creta is better is what I programmed because that's the fact. Obviously, better engine's performance matters at the end of the day. The engine is very lackluster, but the screen is also very lackluster. Not much in the screen. Look at this, is like so plain and basic. And yes, 360-degree parking camera is missing here. So that's another feature which is not there in Sky. You get rear parking camera with guidelines which are not even adaptive. Doggish is just strolling there right now. We just remove this panel. I didn't remove it properly. I pulled it in too much enthusiasm. So yeah, that is the reverse parking camera. You can also operate the climate control air conditioning system from this particular screen, but I don't know why they have not been able to get the screen like color right in the first place. Like the resolution, you can't really see much in bright sunlight. That's a bit of a problem. It has a SOS button. Does it have connected car? I don't know. I don't really care. I hate connected car. It's just adding to the cost of the car. Just remove all these unessential features and reduce the price of the car because that's something I want. And you see how difficult it is to operate this because you don't know where you're going. And it's just so cumbersome to use. Yeah, here average speed, tire pressure monitoring system. It's telling me what's the tire pressure. No, it's not actually. So you can change the winker and all, and then vehicle alerts has been given right here. I see road warning. What do I do with that? I have no idea. And all the telltale warnings have been given here. So that is what's there in this particular screen. And that's about it. Not much to talk about, but it's honestly all about the driving experience because this is both petrol right now and obviously CNG as well. So you have got two fuel meters there to tell you how are you going to like save the earth by driving CNG. Revs all the way to 5,000 RPM, which is also quite interesting. Anyways, let's start driving right away. Alright, let's turn on the car. Clutch lock. Welcome has happened already, and there's actually a CNG menu here which tells you what's the mode ratio of using CNG as well as petrol, and obviously it also tells you the time and how much percentage you have used CNG, which is kind of cool. But this menu is so freaking boring. I know Creta is better. You don't have to keep telling me. We are on petrol mode and there's nothing in the screen unfortunately, so nothing that I can do there. First things first, I'm going to turn off traction control. I keep this button pressed for 5 seconds. Bro, don't shut up. What is wrong with you? Traction control has been turned off. I come into first gear. Listen to this, okay guys, listen to this. Revving the motor till 5,000 RPM. that's not a lot of wheel spin, so we're going to do that again into first gear. First I'm going to come into reverse. Oh, it's fast in reverse as well. Again into first, revving the motor, and oh my god, that's a lot of wheel spin. Into second, and look at the way it goes around the corner. Lot of front end wash, obviously, because front wheel drive, so torque steer happens a lot. And straight away into third. Actually, the thing is that this car deserves a better engine for sure, because the performance isn't up to the mark. The thing is, the handling is actually quite engaging. That's the reason I'm showing you what I'm doing right now. Look at the way it actually goes around the corners with a lot of enthusiasm, which is very, very, very surprising. Now that is my 0 to 100 km per hour test road, but I don't think this car will hit 100 km per hour on this road only. That's a bit of a problem, but we'll still try it. Right now it says 0 to 60 in something 9.49 seconds. So here we're going to make a quick U-turn. The steering is actually light at lower speeds. Look at it, so easy to twirl. Body roll is very well contained as well. And straight away I come into reverse because I need to use every inch of the road available. So here we are. Reset it into first gear, revving the motor, and off we go. Lot of wheel hopping. Straight away into second. Will it reach 100 kilometers per hour before the end of the road? I hope so. Into third gear, upshifting at 6,000 RPM. I need to hit 104ish or something of that sort. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 12.48 seconds, which is not impressive for a car of this price. And with 1500cc of displacement, the performance is just not there. Now, I can't do CNG test here, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, because it will not reach 100 only, but the body roll is well contained. Car is actually fun to drive around the corners. And straight away, let's do the brake test. Brakes are actually quite sharp, so that's impressive as well. And off we go. So much wheel spin into second, and look at me take this corner with a lot of enthusiasm. Oh my goodness, it actually is very impressive. Yeah, there is a lot of roll somehow. What a fun car, deserves a better engine. So let's get to the highway. And first things first, let me turn off the air conditioning. The fun thing is, or the stupid thing is, that I can't turn off the air conditioning from here, can I? No, I need to get into this menu and then only I can turn off the AC. Please tell me I am wrong here. Anyways, into first gear, and hazard lights off, and off we go. And something fell down. Anyways, off we go. Engine is very vocal, and red line's at just 6,000 RPM. So red line comes in quite early. Very vocal, very tall gear. Second gear, 85 kilometers per hour. So this car is powered by the K15C engine, but without the mild hybrid. So there's no 12-volt battery, which actually ends up saving weight. But because of CNG, obviously, there is some weight which has been added to this car, 50 kgs or somewhere around that, because the CNG tank capacity is 55 liters of water equivalent. So that's the reason why the weight has been added here, which is obviously expected with the CNG tank, but since it's placed lower down, obviously helps in good weight distribution of the car. And I don't know why there's so much traffic jam here. Anyways, it's the time you guys have been waiting for, which is stopping the car and launching it in CNG mode, because a CNG is obviously going to be driven on CNG mode most of the time. So here I press a button, instantly it switches. Yeah, now we are in CNG mode. Hazard lights on, come out of this menu, which I don't like at all. Let's reset this and see how fast it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is into first gear, revving the motor, rev till 5,000 RPM. Wheel spin, and off we go. Into second, come on, I can feel that the performance has dulled. So compared to the regular 1.5 liter K15C engine in the non-CNG models, this car is producing 3 horsepower and 2 Newton meters less torque, 14.69 seconds, which is definitely 2 seconds slower here because of CNG, because CNG obviously produces less power and torque. But what I'll do is launch it once again just for the benefit of doubt. Wait a second, the road is sloping, so there's no point of doing it right now. Anyways, let's come to the figures of this car. Firstly, the 1.5 liter engine is underpowered. It's very lackluster, doesn't have any punch, and with CNG the performance has dulled further. So 100.6 PS of power coming from this engine on petrol mode, and 137.1 Newton meters of torque. Meanwhile, in CNG mode it makes 87.8 PS of power, and the torque output is quite lackluster at 121.5 Newton meters. The result is right in front of you. Car is much slower, and doesn't really have the performance. The funny part is this car does not even have a turbo, yet feels like it has turbo lag only, just doesn't take off, feels very sluggish. But Maruti is very smart. They are focusing on efficiency here. So this one returns around 27 kilometers per kg. It's actually 50 kgs heavier because of the CNG tank, obviously, and it doesn't have mild hybrid. Doesn't really matter. Mild hybrid doesn't really contribute much to the equation. Only aids in maybe stop, start, and all those things. So I wouldn't like really complain on that front. But I'm not happy with the performance. I know people buy this car just for efficiency, and in that sense it's fine, but Maruti really needs to make a good petrol engine, because the 1.5 liter engine is one of the worst in the segment. Not one of the worst, it is by far the worst engine. Doesn't have punch, doesn't really get going fast, and doesn't even have efficiency. That's the reason you have CNG, right? They can't make a diesel engine, so we have CNG here, and CNG image is not right because it's mostly used by commercial people, and that also means that the line at the CNG station is humongous, which is kind of sad as well. But this car has a very interesting feature, which is ASFT. Okay, ASFT is what this car has. You will never get a fine in this car. Trust me on this. You will never get a speed fine in this car because of that technology. Basically, the acronym, which is ASFT, is anti-speed fine technology. Because the engine doesn't have the grunt, you're never ever going to be able to cross the speed limit only in the first place. That's how bad the performance is. Only a good thing here is that there's this manual gearbox which makes it fun to drive. The clutch is on the lighter side. The gearbox is slick shifting, but only 5 speeds, not 6 speed. So definitely, because of the manual, the drive experience is much better. It has a 45 liter fuel tank capacity, which is good. By the way, here there's a trailer mode as well, which actually disables the rear parking sensors, something which even Kia has given in the new Seltos, so that if you want to carry a cycle at the back and all, the parking sensors don't go mad ringing all the time. Let's quickly do the wiper test. A lot of water. Wipers are actually good. Meanwhile, the horn is quite disappointing. I don't like the horn at all. Speed limit is 120, and it really struggles to reach there comfortably, so that's a bit of a problem. But the ride is actually nice. It's on the firm side, but the ride is very impressive. The handling is also very nice. The steering is light at low speeds, weighs up at high speeds. In spite of the ground clearance, overall high speed stability is also good. So in terms of ride, handling, balance and all, it's fantastic. This engine is also available with an all-wheel drive, not with CNG. With all-wheel drive you have drive modes. So there is sport, there is snow, there's auto, and you can lock 50-50 power to the front and rear axle. So at least Maruti is giving us all-wheel drive. But in essence, this is very much like the Grand Vitara in almost every regard. Road noise, tire noise, it filters in a lot. So yes, they could have done a better job in terms of the insulation. But no, this car is just loud, and you can feel a lot inside the cabin. And that's where they have cut costs. They've given a lot of features, but they have cut costs in certain areas, which makes you believe that the drive experience could be a lot better, considering the fact that this chassis itself is so good. So it's based on the Suzuki C platform, or the tech platform, which they like to call in India. It's fantastic. You really have to work the gearbox to make quick overtakes, because this car just doesn't have the grunt. Only red line is at 6,000 RPM, but just doesn't move. It feels sluggish, very sluggish somehow, and that's a bit of a problem. So I would say that other than the slack in the center ahead position, the drive experience is actually very impressive here. Now let's quickly discuss the variants on offer. There are 36 variants of this car on offer, which are a lot of variants. Yeah, you can hear a lot of the road noise and all those things, and a Wagoner is actually overtaking at the moment because of CNG not kicking in, yo. So the hybrid with the same variant and all the features costs rupees 4.2 lakhs more, which is a lot of money. 18,000 more for the dual tone paint job, and 72,000 more for CNG, which seems worth it considering the way better or cheaper running costs with CNG. And range starts at rupees 13.32 lakhs for the base, which is the LXI CNG, which I think will sell a lot, because people who are really bothered about the cost of running will opt for CNG. I'm going to stop here and launch it once again, because I want to see how fast can this car go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which means into first gear, hazard lights off, revving the motor, and off we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, quick shift, that one. You can hear the sound on CNG, and we upshift to third, and that is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 13.84 seconds. So a better launch, which makes CNG slower by around 1.3 seconds, which isn't bad at all. And I'll tell you why you should go and pick up your car from the stockyard and not from the dealership. See, I am driving at 100 kilometers per hour. That Fronx has no number plate. It is going for delivery. So it's going to, it's coming from the stockyard. It's going to the dealership right now. And that guy is driving at 100 kilometers per hour, ripping apart your brand new car. I know this is also a brand new car, done hardly 800 kilometers, but that car is hardly done 20 kilometers. It's being ripped apart at full pace in lower gears, and it will reach the dealership, and then they'll clean it and chaka के मतलब एकदम fresh बना के आपको भेज देंगे. So yeah, this is which something I've noticed all the time, happens so many times, that you're just like driving full throttle customer cars because nobody really is caring. Like the dealer doesn't care. He's like किसी भी ड्राइवर को बोल दो लेकर आ जाए गाड़ी, उसको समझ ही नहीं आता क्या करना है. I think the cars nowadays which have valet mode should also have a delivery mode, wherein once you activate the delivery mode, put a pin, the car cannot be driven above 2000 or 3000 RPM and cannot exceed 80 kilometers per hour. That feature definitely needs to come, and I see series of bends. Now we shall have fun because this car is definitely very good in terms of the chassis, the capability. It has got 5-star rating from Global NCAP as well as Apna Bharat NCAP. So yeah, Maruti is making safer cars now, which is impressive, because that was the only issue with Maruti, no lack of safe cars. Actually, this car is sort of perfect. The only issue is lack of headroom at the rear and the poor engine, which just does not inspire you to drive hard and fast, because the engine just does not support here. I need to downshift all the time. Other than that, I feel the automatic is a lot worse because it just doesn't give you control, and slower and more sluggish as well. The CNG is actually faster than the automatic, because automatic is like so lackluster. I don't like Maruti's automatics because not only do they drink more fuel, they just make the car more sluggish. And with this engine, which is the biggest issue with this car, it feels a lot like uninspiring. Meanwhile, if you really want to buy this car, you are better off getting which one? The proper hybrid, yeah, the strong hybrid, because even with 116 horsepower, it is very efficient. It's the most efficient, I think. Claim fuel efficiency is 28 kilometers per liter, firstly, and secondly, it is also much better in terms of performance because of the hybrid system. But then boot gets compromised, headroom is even worse there, and with the panoramic sunroof, the headroom is a lot worse as such. So few things you need to take care of. Meanwhile, Maruti has improved its warranty from 2 years 40,000 kilometers to now having a warranty which is 3 years 1 lakh kilometers, which is the same as Toyota, because both of these companies are rebadging each other's vehicles, so they need to maintain the same warranty as well. So you are paying 17 lakhs for this car, which doesn't have drive modes, which doesn't have the performance. But if you're looking for efficiency, ease of driving, low cost of running, and something which is absolutely easy going, easy to maintain, then obviously opt for the Victoris, because in terms of service experience, Maruti has dealerships in places you can't even imagine. And then you're driving, all of a sudden you realize there's a race, someone is coming and trying to be like, chal, mere ko overtake karke bata. What do you do in a CNG? You either back off or you man up by pressing this button here, come into petrol mode, and all of a sudden that's like sport mode, baby. Yeah, it doesn't rev very fast, and it's a very tall geared car as well. So guys, this is my video of the Maruti Victoris CNG compressed natural gas. And if you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Honestly, there are way better cars in the segment at this price point, but if you're really looking for a Maruti, well, the Victoris is one of the options, although the Grand Vitara will get updated. I just like the Grand Vitara more in premium service experience and sales experience as well. Bye bye.